Hello, guys. It's Jamie Wozni back here. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about something really cool that I saw yesterday about our capacity to self regulate and our capacity to calm ourselves. And I think it's really cool about insights and how they're everywhere and how you can heal from watching a McDonald's commercial or having a conversation with somebody on the street or a meditation class. But just know that if you're meant to hear something, you will hear something, because at the end of the day, it's your own consciousness, your own spirit waking up to itself. Okay, so last night we were watching one of our friends' shows. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's called Dog Impossible on Nat Geo Wild, and the owner of the Zen Dog Los Angeles, his name's Matt Beisner, is a friend of my boyfriend's and an acquaintance of mine. And we were watching the show, and I had this amazing insight, because what he was doing on the show was there were these dogs that were really stressed out, and the owners were innocent. They didn't realize what was going on. But the dog would greet the owner at the door, be really anxious and have all these behavioral issues, and then the owner innocently would soothe the dog and say, it's okay, or hi, how are you? And so the dog learns to get love in a very codependent way. The dog learns attention keeps me safe, or food keeps me safe, or physical touch, right? They all learn in different ways. So what he was doing on the show was talking about positive detachment and how you ignore the dog. And don't take these behavioral tips from me. Watch the show, but I'm giving you little bits and pieces from the best that I can remember. So he was talking about positive detachment and how when the animal comes in the door, to ignore them and to let them build their own confidence, to see and know that, hey, I can calm myself down, or get this feeling of attention, or this feeling of peace, or this feeling of soothing or well-being or okayness on my own. And I was like, whoa, this is what I teach. This is humans. This is huge. So my ability to see that in an outside thing was like, wow, we all work this way. And the cool thing is the animals totally take to this and rehabilitate. So it takes a while. Their neural pathways have been running one way for so long, but they start to learn and see, hey, I can calm myself down on my own. I'm safe when mom and dad are doing things or even ignoring me, and they start to find the capacity for their own well-being inside of themselves. That's us. And if you grow up, I hate this label, but I'm just going to use it because many of us can understand this label. If you grow up codependent, right, which means that you seek love outside of, or I see it to mean that you seek love outside of yourself, then your mind, your brain, excuse me, is innocently looking for it in all those places. So the second you feel uncomfortable, the second mom or dad, like the dog, isn't soothing you, your brain freaks out and it looks for its best guess at how can we get that feeling. Go to drugs, go to alcohol, go to sex, go to neediness, throw a temper tantrum, create some drama in your life, shop, overeating, caffeine, whatever it is that we can do to just, I feel this sense of calm and comfort. Now, calm and comfort doesn't come from those things. It comes from when our mind settles down. That's a temporary Band-Aid. It gives us a moment of relief because we feel our thinking. Okay, so a thought comes, we feel the thought. So what's happening, I have that sip of wine and I have the thought, okay, I can relax now. So I'm going to feel that thought and I'm going to think that it came from the wine. Now that's not to say outside things, can give us different, this is a fine line here, but that's not to say outside things are more preferable or less preferable. They make us feel a certain way. Sure, things are going to have an effect on that, right? But it's our whole experience of it is via thought. I can be feeling miserable having a glass of wine, or I can feel happy having a glass of wine, because my experience of the wine is through my thinking, and I'm feeling my thinking. So a lot of times, like when I'll go to healers, yes, there's a time and a place for that. But I realized I put the connection together that when I would go, I would have this thought, okay, I'm good now. Like, we figured out the problem. I'm safe. I'm okay. So then my best guess at feeling okay was to go to a healer, but it was just because I was having that thought, that temporary thought that made me feel like I was okay. This is innocent and we all do it and it plays out in different ways, but it's so cool. And I couldn't see this forever. So just stay looking in this direction, okay? It's so cool to start to see that, oh my gosh, if I just wait, and I don't want to give you a prescription here, so don't take this as literal. But if I just wait a minute for my mind to settle, and I let this discomfort be here, and I'm aware of it. Oh, look, that's my mind searching for comfort. That's the dog in me looking for attention or validation or food or am I okay, am I okay, am I okay from my parents, dog parents. If I can just be aware of that, the brain it's thinking, it's energy moving through, and it'll pass. So my mentor said this to me years ago. She said, I think what you're doing, Jamie, is you have this capacity within you for your mind to settle, because all minds settle, but you're jumping in the way a little bit too soon to see. You get scared and you go back to your old thing that made you feel comfortable. Calling someone on the phone, creating drama, asking for a hug, I don't know, whatever it is, hiding, getting your kombucha that for some reason brings you that sense of joy or whatever. Look, not to say you can't do things in your life or have preferences or just like kombucha to like kombucha. But we do things because we think it's keeping us safe, or it's where our okayness lives, and not that, oh, this is cool, I'll just do this thing because I have a preference for this drink, or I want to have sex out of joy, or I want to go shopping because I haven't gotten an outfit in a while, right? We have well-being inside of us when our mind settles. We're not told that. We're told that we're broken and we have to go fix it, and we're also very uncomfortable with our feelings. We don't want to feel them, so we go for something. But when we don't realize we're the dogs, we have an ability. If you leave us be for a minute and you let us be uncomfortable, you let us whine, you let us pant, you let us go around the house without intervening with a technique, a tool, a drink, shopping, whatever you go to, then you'll settle and you'll rest and the panting will stop and you'll relax. And then your deeper wisdom will be there to guide you. And there's action tools to take. Sometimes it is go meditate or go for a walk or this or that, but we can't hear it because we're just caught up in the brain's firing of do this to feel better, do this to feel better. So we just need to start to kind of look in this direction and open our mind to like, oh, and look, I teach a self-compassion class. Have compassion. Your brain's just doing what a brain does. It's innocent. It's not your fault. But we just get to start to kind of see it more. And like, oh my gosh, like I had that insight the other day. Like, whoa, self-help is all I've known to soothe. And maybe there's more to that. Maybe my mind and my body is in this natural settling mechanism that, like my mentor said, I just jumped in too soon to see. So that's standard for every human being. And then the metaphor that most of us give is the snow globe, right? So when the snow is shaken up and going everywhere, that's your thoughts spinning and you're doing your best you can in that moment. But how do we get the thoughts to stop? We set the snow globes down. We get out of the way. We let it's like I see it like a pinball machine. We let the pinball machine go blah, 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 blah. And it's like our awareness and our spirit, the wise part of us just kind of goes, I'm aware of this. This feels uncomfortable, but I'm going to let it ride through me. I don't need to get in there and get involved. I don't need to listen to the content of what it's saying. I'm just going to kind of hang out here, having a greater vantage point and knowing that this will settle, that I'm in a self-regulating mechanism. My brain's going to do the best it knows to do, right? But it'll settle. And that's what I'm looking for anyway, is that calm and that comfort underneath. So, I grew up with all the codependent behaviors, feeling really unsafe, seeking it in other people. And I've just had this light shown, I don't know the correct word there, but I've had this light come into all the dark places of where I thought love and comfort and safety lived outside of myself in people, things, situations, doing, non-doing. But it's just a state of being. It's who you already are, and you can't see it if you keep innocently jumping in the way. So go slow, When you start to become more aware of it, pause and, watch an episode of Dog Impossible, because you can actually see, like, you can see it in action, like, whoa, this is a creature just like me, that has looked for and found safety outside of itself. So when it does that, that's what the brain knows to do. The brain is a computer program that logs that. So until you become smarter than it, that's just going to be all you know. And it's going to look like reality to you. We always talk in my line of work and say that we're fish in water. Fish say, what's water? And we say, what's thought? And your ego, as mine did a long time ago, might get very angry and be like, no, this is all helping me. You're crazy. Like, what? Because it's confused. It wants to try to keep you safe, so it's gonna scream a little bit louder at first. So when you start to get a hang of these things, like for me, it does get a little bit more uncomfortable at first. It can, doesn't have to, before it gets better, because your brain's going to throw in all of its last resorts. No, you have to do this to be okay. What are you thinking? Jamie doesn't know what she's talking about, So if this resonates with you, just play with it, sit with it. I know the discomfort that can be here in it, but just know it's energy. It's okay to feel it. It's safe. It will leave. And I believe that's what you're looking for. It's like we can hang out and skate around up here and have temporary relief. But there comes a time, I don't know, for me, I just realized after 8 years of temporary relief, I think I want something deeper. And this is the direction to look. So feel free to write me if you have any questions, comments. You can pop them below in the YouTube channel, but I hope to stay in touch with you guys. Follow me and subscribe here if you want, or follow me on Instagram. It's my name, at Jamie Wozny, JamiEWOZNY, and stay in touch. Let me know how this works for you guys, okay? Take care.